Hey everyone, welcome to Star Wars Conversations, the show where two scruffy-looking nerf herders like to get together and talk about all things Star Wars. My name's Jay.
And I'm Colin.
Welcome to the show. How's it going, Colin?
Yeah, not too bad, matey. I'm all right. Yeah.
All excited to talk about some Star Wars news?
I'm always excited to talk about Star Wars news.
Always.
We're always excited, particularly about Rebels. Did you, before we get cracking in, we had some nice tweets from Dean Stoll this week.
Yeah.
He's one of the participants in the Paradigm Shift podcast on the Taylor Network.
Yeah.
He was sending us some nice tweets, so that's lovely of him. It'd be nice if a few more of you out there sent us a few tweets.
Because we get sad when no one sends us tweets.
Yeah, we like tweets. So send us some tweets, please, me old chums. And again, thank you for anyone that sent some messages asking if we were okay after the unfortunate attacks in London yesterday.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Obviously, horrible thing that happened. Yeah. And obviously, luckily, Jay was out of the town and I was in a different part of London. So luckily, no, we weren't affected.
We weren't there.
No, but again, horrible thing that happened.
Yeah,
so.
Our thoughts go out to any of those the people that lost their lives and also the injured and their families as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, not fun. But let's think about some happy things and
some
talk
fun
about
stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about some Star Wars news.
Oh, I like the little in between, almost like Boss Nassif.
Well, I am Gungan at heart.
He what am I saying?
I wouldn't admit that if I were you.
Well, we've all got a bit of Gungan in us.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going to kill myself.
That's what Mia's saying. Right, first bit of news, my old chum. Woody Harrelson. He has revealed his character's name.
In the new Han Solo movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously.
Right, he's played
in Hunger Games 5.
Yeah. So, Woody Harrelson. So,
who?
He was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And
Old Jimmy
Fallon on NBC. And a lot of people had sort of guessed that maybe he's going to be playing Garrus Strike from the Star Wars Legend story, who was...
But we knew he wasn't going to.
We knew it was quite unlikely. I'm sure that the character's going to be very much Garrus Strike, but he has a different name. So Jimmy pressed him on it, and he said, can you say who you're playing in the Han Solo movie? And Woody says, I play a guy named Beckett, who's kind of a criminal and a mentor to Han. So he's kind of like Garrus Strike.
Yeah, it's the same, man.
Also,
I mean,
there's nothing to say this isn't a lie, right?
Yeah.
And then Jimmy also said to him, how long will you be filming in London? And Woody said he will be here in London filming until the end of July. So that's how long they're going to be filming his scenes in the new Han Solo movie. So, yeah, what do you make of this then, Colin?
Well, I mean, we always knew, Lucasfilm at the moment seemed to have this habit of taking concepts from the Legend story and just giving it a different name.
And it's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah, which is really annoying because obviously I either want to see the things I love or I want to see something different.
They sort of make an amalgamation of like two characters, two Legend characters. He's a bit like him and he's a bit like him, and so we just named him different. It could be something like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like I say, it's nothing we haven't guessed in terms of what he described the character as.
No.
That was pretty obvious. I mean, what else was he going to be? And then I guess the actual name isn't very Star Warsy, is it?
No, it's a bit more like Quantum Leap to me.
Yeah, or David Beckham.
Yeah, or Sam Beckett, Quantum Leap.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Ziggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be Sam. Maybe he is Sam Beckett.
Oh, imagine if they just threw that one in there and it became
every
a constantly
time-
Star Wars crossover.
But also, every time Woody looks in the mirror, you see Scott Bakula, whatever his name is.
Scott Bakula.
Bakula. Woo!
I'm Scott Bakula.
Scott
I
Bakula.
will bite your fingers.
1.
Two. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be.
Oh, Daddy.
Daddy. Good to see. I like how you picked him up by his head.
Yeah, that's the most softest bit.
Yeah, I mean, Beckett. It could just be that he's playing this, you know, and that he's not Beckett and he is Gareth Strike, or it is just the case that they've renamed him. I mean, he says he's kind of a criminal and a mentor to Han Solo, which is what Gareth Strike was, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So nothing
What do you think, Ted?
exciting here, but it's a name. We have a name. We have something.
Ted's not bothered.
Ted doesn't care. Ted just wants to be straight.
He likes Chewbacca.
I bet he does. He can. There's some similarities, right? He can associate with him.
My fairy co-pilot.
You should get him on them bandoliers, man.
That would be cool.
That would be amazing. Maybe one of the millions of fans of our show will send you a bandolier for your dog.
I'd rather them send me cash for the other dog. Send cash.
Yeah, I need cash too, so just
no checks, just cash. I don't mind. You put it in the post. Sterling. Next bit of news, my friend. Oh, here we go. Lyra Erso was originally a Jedi in the early draft of Rogue One. Indeed. This sounds like non-news.
Well, I guess in a way it is non-news. But
there's a lot of these coming out, isn't there?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, they've sort of said that we're not going to get all these deleted scenes and stuff. And this was actually just a draft. So this was Entertainment Weekly's reporter, Anthony Besnikan. He was having a discussion with Gareth Edwards. And so it's quite a good article. People should check it out. Basically, in the prologue to the movie, it was going to show the Empire hunting Jedis, and they were going to show Lyra was the Jedi that they were going to be hunting in this case, and Krennic was going to be the one doing the killing, and this is where Jyn was going to be orphaned. I mean, it goes into a bit more, but they said that the problem was they felt that if they made her a Jedi, then for the whole movie, you'd be questioning, so is Jyn a Jedi as well? Right, so they thought, okay, it makes sense not to put that in, and that's when they decided to make Galen be the guy that works on the Death Star. So initially he wasn't like that, but then because they figured that would be a better way to go along with the plot and everything. But they sort of talk about that instead of seeing, you know, a jittery Lyra with like a blaster pointing it at you know, the Death Troopers and Krennic all scared, she's going to be like this Jedi who's going to like draw her lightsaber to protect her family, and it was going to be a bit more dramatic like that. This was Gary Whitta mentioned this as part of what they had written. Yeah. And Galen was always going to be a scientist, but the mother was just going to be this Jedi in hiding. And then as the story developed, they realised that going down the road of Galen working with kyber crystals and everything like that just worked better for the overall story. But it's an interesting article. It's certainly worth people checking out. It's on EW. They just search for Lyra Erso Jedi EW on Google. They'll find it. I'll put the links in the bottom of this so people can see it. Similar on this, did you see? Well, first of all,
her costume is well Jedi anyway.
It really is, yeah, and that's why I suppose they made her like, I believe in the Force and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and because she actually looked like a Jedi,
Yeah.
and then
And
in a
people
related
questioned
note,
it anyway. People,
Yeah.
I remember people going, "Oh, is she a Jedi?" It's like, no.
I saw, I don't know what I saw it on. It was on something, some social media type thing. A picture of a toy, a Black Series toy, with Jin, and it was called, and her name was Sergeant Jin Erso, and I think apparently she was supposed to be a sergeant in the original draft as well.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that figure. There's probably just early boxes for it, but no, I don't think it's on that on the prop. I've got rid of my box now. But
Well, I hope it wasn't on yours, because you probably would have had a bit of money.
I would be crying if it was. No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't on my one. For anyone listening to this show, that was a very exciting moment that you just missed.
Special content for YouTube listeners only.
Viewers.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so, well, next story, Jay, is another similar one here.
Mm-hmm.
Another bit of non-news.
No, this ain't non-news.
Oh, yeah, well, it sort of is.
Okay.
Riz Ahmed nearly played a crazed engineer in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Oh, Bodhi.
So, yeah. Again, this is an EW interview, and they talked to Riz Ahmed, and this one is definitely worth checking out. It came out about 2 to 3 hours ago, and it's quite a long article, so it's got a lot of information in it. I'm not going to go over everything. People should
Breaking news!
But, in this one, so Riz Ahmed took the role thinking he was going to be playing a completely different character. And the character he was going to be playing was a character called Bo-Katan, and he was actually one of Saw Gerrera's engineers. And the character was changed to Bodhi. Bodhi means enlightenment. The article goes into the story of reshoots. It goes into the story of Bodhi's. He had a different death scene in which, like, he was running. He was like flanked by Baze and Chirrut, and he was running through like a whole field. You know, when he's trying to put the plug in.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The Back to the Future moment.
Yeah, but in this, he's actually got the other two with him, and he's running along, and he's like sort of ducking under, like dodging gunfire and stuff. And every time he pops up, like some stormtroopers would be there, and then Chirrut would come in and bust them all up, and then he'd like dive on the floor and crawl along. He'd jump up, and then there'd be some more stormtroopers, and Chirrut would just come in and like start, taking them all out.
Cool.
And it was like, he said it was quite a long scene of them just running, and like Chirrut just doing loads of martial arts, and Baze like popping people off. And then he said that the ending was similar, but he kind of goes back and he gets shot and gets injured, and he has to crawl back injured to the ship. And of course, this is spoilers, by the way. I'm going to put that at the beginning, because if anyone hasn't seen it, yeah.
If you haven't seen Rogue One, you're not allowed to watch this anymore.
Yeah, don't watch this show. So yeah, he crawls back into the ship, and then it plays out again where he gets blown up in the ship. But that was quite cool. When he talks about the character Bo-Katan, so he's still an Imperial. He's an Imperial engineer that was captured by Saw Gerrera and his guys, and they are on a planet that has a really strong electromagnetic field. And he has a bit of a Stockholm syndrome. He's been with them so long that he just stays there. And now he's like become one of them, right? And this electromagnetic field is what's hidden them from the Empire, because any ships that come in here crash. And in the original scenes that they had worked out for this, the U-wing came into where Saw Gerrera is, and the electromagnetic field makes it crash, which they then rewrote to be later on in the scenes that we saw in the movie.
Yeah.
So there is actually quite a lot of information, and he actually goes into like reshoots and what they reshot, and stories about Bodhi's mother, and like how they worked out what would make him become an Imperial pilot, because he was always someone who was dealing with guilt because he felt that he was working for bad guys. So he's like talking about how the planet that he comes from, which is Jeddah, was obviously occupied, and they had worked out him maybe like having like his dad's dead and he's like looking after his mum and his family, and like these are the things that pushed him. It's certainly worth reading. It's a long article, but it's got a lot of good information in there. So not really non-news. It's quite good. But I like that one myself. And you like Bodhi, so I thought you'd be.
He's my favourite character.
You should check out this article. You'd like this.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to read that when I finish this lovely podcast.
What do you think of that anyway? What do you think about Bodhi having a different backstory and all the things that were mentioned there? Do you think that some of those things sound like they could have been a bit better than what you got, or do you think that they gave us the best version of Bodhi?
I was happy with what we got, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think with all of these things, there's so many things that have been coming out about Rogue One, about what it could have been, or what they didn't do, or what they did do and then didn't show. I was just so happy with the end result.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say, I think it's great. I'd like to read that article and find out what could have been. And like I say, I really would love to see some deleted scenes just to see what it looked like.
Yeah, I would like to see those. But they're not going to put them on there, eh?
No.
Which is a bit. Well, that's what you said, right? Special edition.
That bloody Edwards is going to get a slap. Anyway, I'm happy with what we got. There aren't really any characters I would change from the film.
No, I liked. The only thing I didn't like about Rogue One, which we had a little thing going on the Facebook group the other day, was the only thing for me was I didn't like the way the title came up.
That's the
I
worst
thought it
bit.
looked really cheap, and the music
and the theme was rubbish.
Bit was horrible. But other than that, everything else in the movie I loved. Like, I can't wait to get the Blu-ray of that.
No, that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing it. When is it? About April 10th for us?
Yeah, it's not too long now, man. We're 23rd of March already.
I know, but these bloody Yanks are going to have it before us.
Are they?
Yeah, they get it early in April, don't they? Beginning of April.
All right, we go on the 10th.
I know, but it's too far.
It is far, but that's going to go quick, man. I can't wait to get that land on my desk at work that day. I'm going to want to just duck out and go home.
Take the day off.
Oh, it's going to get delivered to work, so I can't, because if I take the day off,
you dumb.
I won't be there to get it. I didn't plan that very well, did I?
You didn't, did you?
No. Oh well.
I've pre-ordered mine, and the people that I pre-ordered it from, they know, because it comes out on a Monday, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I normally get it on the Saturday or the Friday from that place that I've ordered it from.
You'll have to tell me afterwards who that is.
I'll tell you now. Zoom.co.uk.
Zoom?
Yeah, they can sponsor us if they want.
That'd be amazing.
Really good. And also, on their website, they have this thing that says, first orders you get 10% off. And you put the code in.
I might go and pre-order it, then cancel my pre-order.
Yeah, because it's cheaper. And also, what's brilliant is, every time you put in the 10% off code, it still works. I've had about 3 things.
Don't tell them that. They'll stop it.
They don't watch this.
They might. I believe that a lot of people start watching this recently. No? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe.
See.
Well, no. I tell you what, something's going really weird with Google Feed Burner. I tell you that, because 1 minute we had a load of people subscribers, next minute we got 0. I'm hoping that it's just gone wrong.
Just cancelled.
Yeah, I think the last episode wasn't particularly popular.
Yeah, I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, what else we got on the old news?
Here's another one you'll like.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Something different. 2 more alternative endings for Rogue One revealed.
Okay, so a few days ago, EW revealed that there was an alternate ending for Rogue One where Jyn and Cassian survived. So then, in a interview with IO9, John Knoll talks about a couple of other versions. These are quite interesting. I'm going to read these directly because it's easier. But I got this, obviously the whole interview is on IO9, so it's worth checking that. So the first one is, Jin and Cassian realise they don't get the plans of the ship. The whole mission has failed. So they discover that Leia's ship has just taken off from Coruscant and is on its way to the diplomatic mission's Aldrun. They know that she's secretly working for the rebellion, and they risk blowing her cover by transmitting the plans to her ship, with the hope that this transmission won't be detected by Vader's ship. Obviously, it is detected, and Jin and Cassian realise that that whether Vader catches Leia's ship or not, they will inevitably be. That's you and Mark Hamill. They will inevitably be tortured for information by the Empire, and could reveal the rebellion's secrets, potentially leading to its destruction. So the two rebels decide to blow up their own ship with them on board. And then we have a second alternative ending. You'll love this one.
I'm loving it already.
This second
and so is Mark.
Ending. Yeah, I can tell he loves it.
Oh, I love it.
It's a bit blur, though.
I love it.
It's a bit blur, so it's a bit too close. There you go, that's better. So on this second one, they have a carbon freeze bomb on the ship.
A carbon freeze?
Yeah, and the idea is that he forces everyone into the airlock. I think that's Cassian. I'm going to set this off, and you're... Oh, IG-88. And you're all going to survive. He sort of times it with one of the hits from Vader's ship, so he blows up the ship and sets off a carbon freeze bomb, and everyone is frozen. Then
that's cool. That is cool.
Then on Vader's ship, they detect no life signs, and they think everyone's dead. And they're like, where's that ship the plans were transmitted to? And they go. So I was going to, this is what he says about writing. He goes, so I was going to leave our heroes out of the picture. It's why they don't show up in Empire Jedi. They're stuck in carbon freeze. Which would have been their opportunity to bring back Cassian and Jin and that in
Force Awakens.
Found this ship and they're all frozen in there in carbonite.
However, I love that.
They didn't go with that one.
That would have been cool.
And interesting enough, because I'm actually reading this off StarWarsNewsNet.com, and the person that put the article up, which is Val Trichkov.
Val.
Viral Hide. He's put, now that's an ending we're glad we didn't get. But I think
I'm not. I think that's a cool ending.
A good way if they wanted to bring those characters back. Like, because if those characters, they didn't know before they brought the movie out, they didn't know how popular they're going to be. Let's say that they end up being like their most popular characters ever. And it's like, we can bring them back, right? And if they're not, they're out in space floating away and no one ever finds them, right? It works both ways. But instead, of course, we know what happened to them. So that never happened. But yeah, carbon freeze bomb. That would be like a whole new weapon introduced into the whole Star Wars.
Battlefront. And in Battlefront.
And in Battlefront, yeah. So you like that one, huh?
I do like. I like that idea. It's good. I don't know. I don't think I prefer it than what actually happened, but it's still
cool. By the
cool.
sounds of it, if they had used it, it says Vader's ship detects no life forms, and they just go. So we wouldn't have got to see Vader get onto the ship and.
They still need a Vader fight.
But yeah.
Yep. So, yeah. But he still could have tried to attack. Oh, I don't know. Let's not get into.
Also, they had it that in the first part, which is kind of similar to this. They go that they realise that Leia's ship has launched from Coruscant, and then they're going to go to Coruscant. But we know that she was at the Masasi Temple in Yavin because Bail goes and tells her what to do. And R2-3PO.
But she didn't necessarily need to be there.
R2-3PO. Well, you're saying that the ship could have gone from there and collected her from Coruscant, and then they discovered that she just launched from Coruscant, and now they're.
Well, there was nothing to say she was definitely there. He could have been calling her,
unless they didn't have that scene with R2-3PO there.
Yeah,
that's the only way they'd be able to see that. Yeah, because all the ships launched from there and then went straight to Scarif. To Gareth. No, Scarif. Yeah.
Gareth.
It's Gareth. What's your name? Scarif. You don't remember last week's episode, do you?
Yeah, I do, but, well, it was a bit of a blur. But, oh no. Scarif. Right, okay.
So
is that all the news?
That's the news, man. That's the news for this week.
What an amazing job you did there, Jay. Thank you very much.
It was a last-minute job, I'll have you know.
I know.
You know what we'll do? we're
What
going
will we
to talk
do?
about all the lovely social media places where people can find us. Your favourite part of the show.
My favourite part of the show.
So the first place that people should look to find us is our Facebook group, which is Star Wars Conversations. And join the group, and it's got lots of lovely people there who, some of them, like to talk, and they'll chat with you. So that's cool. You should join that.
Well, everyone who's on there is always nice and polite.
That's true.
Not the most vocal bunch, but
some of them are.
some of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah.
About 4 of them.
Are we 2 of them?
Yeah.
Maybe. But there's a couple of other
Hi,
places.
Daniel. Hi, Tom.
There are a couple of places.
Frank, you sometimes put things.
he puts things up there. You can also find us on our Twitter page at Star Wars Convo, or use the hashtag Star Wars Convo. You can find Colin on Twitter
At Captain Colin.
and you can find me on Twitter at EagleEye1933. You can also find us on our RSS feed, which is
Tiny URL.
Yeah, there's a tiny URL, or you can just search for.
Oh, yeah, Star Wars Conversations.
You can find us on Instagram at Star Wars
Convo. Yeah.
You can find us on Stitcher,
Star Wars Conversations, iTunes, Star Wars Conversations, or tinyurl.com/Star Wars Pod.
Well, you remembered that one.
Yeah, that's a prime little bit of RSSing I got there.
Yeah, it really is. Where else are we?
We are on the Taylor Network, my friend.
The Taylor Network of Podcasts.
We are the funky, super duper cool hangout place that is the Taylor Network, which is wonderful website which you could look up just by searching for that, or you could go on iTunes or Stitcher or anywhere like that and listen to all the podcasts on one lovely feed, and they've got millions of podcasts on there.
Like what, Colin?
Like this brilliant one to start with, the best one.
Totally.
Pyramid Shift, as I mentioned earlier, the D&D one. There is Wade's World, No Apologies, which is very rude, so don't listen to that if you're a child.
But no apologies for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Nothing's On, which is excellent if you want a recap of what's been going on telly. There is Go Trek Yourself, the amazing Star Trek podcast, which I very much enjoy, apart from Star Trek's rubbish.
Says he with his pictures of Cisco and Walk behind him.
Yeah.
This
week they talked about who their favourite Doctor was, and JK's favourite one was the hologram Doctor.
Oh, really? From Voyager?
Yeah. Oh. And Daryl's was Dr. McCoy, obviously.
I like Dax.
She's not really a doctor. She's a science officer.
Yeah.
But my favourite Doctor was Dr. Seller. And someone look her up, because she was in the Peter David New Frontier books. Anyway, geeks.
Sweaty.
Gotham by Geek. That is a brilliant. I really enjoy that podcast. It's all about Batman, and Daryl and Chris and a few other people sometimes. They talk about they've all talk about an issue of Batman that they've read, whatever. But it could be from any time. Like I think Chris always talks about an older one. And it's just really interesting, and they talk about general Batman news and stuff. Really good. And that'd do for them. There's loads more. Double-page spread.
Yep. Go check them out. Just do a search for the Taylor Network of Podcasts. You'll be able to find all the different podcasts that they have there. And I'm sure there's something for everybody. So if you like cool stuff, you'll find cool stuff right there.
Magnum Cast.
There's another one, right? So many.
They love the Magnum. Why? It's not about ice cream. It's not about ice creams. It's about
cool.
Magnum PI.
Yeah.
It's so random.
It's awesome. Hey, as I said, there's something for everyone, right? If you're a fan of Magnum, there's a podcast for you right there. So anyway, that'll do it for us.
That'll do.
And
That'll do, pig.
thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you'll be back next week, because we will be. So may the force be with you.
Punch it, Chewie!